Good morning everyone. I have a small job I'm going to do today. I've had this battery charger, trickle charger, Optimate 3. I've probably had it for somewhere about 12 to 15 years. But in the last few months it cuts out intermittently and it's obviously got a connection break somewhere inside. So I've bought a new one. And I bought this Oximiser, Oxford Oximiser. So I'm going to fit that today. Not a big job, quite an easy job, but it's a few little twists and turns you have to do to get it mounted on the bike. So I thought I'd make this video and hope that it helps someone. So this is the Oximiser out of its box. This is the unit itself. And it has a plug for the wall for power and a little connection cable that I have to fit onto the bike and connect the terminals to the battery just here. So let's walk over and have a quick look at the bike and see where it's going to go. Now the previous one, I had the connection mount here, a little cap on it. It worked quite well, and I've had this bike for 3.5 years. But in the last few months, as I said before, it works intermittently, so I thought I'd change it. So I had it connected there with a cable tie. Now, to mount it, got to go into the front, and I'll have to take this little accessory mount that I've put in the bike. So I'll remove it here. And then I'll take off this backing plate to get at the battery. I just thought I'd show people the small ratchet set I purchased a couple of months ago from Aldi. I've never had one before. In fact, I've never used this since I purchased it, but I'm going to try and use it today to remove this here. See how it goes. Well, seems to be doing the job nicely. Yeah, great. So I've removed the backing plate in the front to expose the battery, and now I have to connect or disconnect, take the battery out and disconnect the Oximiser lead, this one, and the power outlet here, which is connected these wires. So I'll do that. Well, with a little bit of jiggling around to get the battery out, I've disconnected the terminals and taken everything off. So now I just have to fit the lead for the Oximiser. So let's do that. So I had the previous connection cord that I've taken off, so this is the new one. I had the previous one connected to here, and I ran the cable up underneath and came out in the bottom of the front here near the fuse box, and then I was able to connect it to the battery. So at all times it remained behind the backing wall in the front. So let's do that. So I've mounted the charging cable or the connecting cable of the Oximiser here. I mounted it on the inside of the crash bar here rather than on the main support beam here where I had the previous one. And the reason I did that is because it wasn't quite, the leads weren't quite as long as the old one, and when I ran them through into the front they wouldn't have been long enough to reconnect to the battery if I would have put them in the previous position. And I also found that if I put a little cable tie together, it was easier to poke these two leads through that small hole. I could get one through, but the other one got caught up, and it wasn't until I hit on this brilliant idea to solve the problem. Okay, so let's connect that up. So I've reconnected all the cables to the battery, positive and negative terminals. And the big test will be to see if this accessories charger here switches on. It's operating off its own internal battery at the moment, but let's open it up and see if it works. Okay, so if I switch it on here, see what happens. Hallelujah. So the battery's terminals are connected correctly. So now it's just a matter of tidying up and putting it all back together. So I'll switch off and I'll come back when that's done. The backing plate to the front is back on. All the terminals to the battery are connected. The accessories outlet is back on. I've already tested it, but let's turn it on just to make sure. Yep, it's working. That's great. I'll turn it off. And let's have a look, see if this works. So I have connected the Oximiser to the outlet plug. And I have external power. So let's plug it in and see what we get. Okay, so it's plugged in. And the Oximiser is working. And there we can see that it's got 13.3 volts. So it's working, which is great. It's exactly what we want. Okay, so job done. Connected the Oximiser to my Hnda nc750x. And I guess the last test is to turn the bike on to make sure that power's working. Alright, so we've got power. We'll start the bike up. Okay, so the job done. I hope this video has helped at least one person. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.